Elon Musk just named a real company after a joke he made about Bill Gates 4 years ago. It's called Macrohard. Macro, the opposite of micro. Hard, the opposite of soft. It's a company designed with zero human programmers to do everything Microsoft does using only AI. And Gates' reaction fits perfectly into a year in which he has called Musk insane, watched him wade into global politics, and then sat at a table with his own AI co-pilot, cracking jokes about how AI is getting so damn intelligent, there's not much left for him to do. The Gates-Musk story has been building for years. Macrohard just gave it a new battlefield. Back in 2021, Musk posted 2 words on X. Macrohard is greater than Microsoft. No context. Most people assumed it was a drive-by troll aimed at Gates and moved on. It wasn't. In July 2025, Musk posted again, this time with real technical detail. He said XAI was building a multi-agent AI software company where Grok spawns hundreds of specialized coding and image, video generation agents all working together and then emulates humans interacting with the software in virtual machines until the result is excellent. Then he tagged it. This is a macro challenge and a hard problem with stiff competition. Can you guess the name? By August 1, 2025, XAI had already filed a trademark application with the US Patent and Trademark Office for the name Macrohard, covering downloadable software, text generation tools, coding tools, AI chatbots, and digital assistants. That's not something you file for a joke. Then on August 22, Musk made it official on X. Join XAI and help build a purely AI software company called Macrohard. It's a tongue-in-cheek name, but the project is very real. The name is a deliberate antonym of Microsoft, syllable by syllable. And given the Musk-Gates history, the provocation was obviously intentional. The two men have clashed publicly for years, over Tesla, over climate, over OpenAI, over politics. Musk was one of OpenAI's original co-founders. He left in 2018. In the years since, Microsoft invested tens of billions of dollars into OpenAI and embedded its technology deep inside Windows, Office, and Azure. From Musk's perspective, the company he helped start became a tool of someone he openly dislikes. Macrohard feels, in part, like a very public answer to that. So what is Musk trying to build? The core logic is this. Software companies like Microsoft don't manufacture anything physical. They write code, manage systems, and build platforms. Musk's argument is that if AI can write code, manage systems, and build platforms, then in principle, you could simulate an entire software company using artificial intelligence alone, no human employees required. As he put it in the announcement, in principle, given that software companies like Microsoft do not themselves manufacture any physical hardware, it should be possible to simulate them entirely with AI. The architecture behind this isn't a single AI model. Macrohard is designed around a multi-agent system. Grok, XAI's large language model, acts as an orchestrator, spinning up hundreds of specialized AI agents. Some write code, others generate images or videos, others handle testing, and crucially, another set of agents simulates the human users who will eventually interact with the software, running feedback loops inside virtual machines until the output hits a quality standard, without a human engineer in the loop. The USPTO trademark filing tells you just how wide Musk's ambitions run. Speech and text generation, AI tools for design and coding, conversational AI, and AI-driven video game development. Map that against Microsoft's product lineup, Office, Teams, Copilot, Visual Studio, Xbox, and it's a near-perfect overlap. This isn't targeting one corner of Microsoft's business. It's targeting the whole thing. The computing backbone for this would need to be enormous. Reports have pointed to XAI's Colossus 2 supercomputer in Memphis as the likely engine. Musk has confirmed plans to deploy 1 million NVIDIA GPUs in Colossus 2, which would give it an estimated peak computing power of 2,000 to 4,000 exaflops, roughly 5 times more powerful than the original Colossus, which already used around 200,000 GPUs and was already regarded as one of the most powerful AI clusters in the world. Gates has not issued a press statement specifically about Macrohard, but anyone who has followed him closely through 2025 and into 2026 knows where he stands, on Musk, on AI, and on the idea that a scrappy newcomer can just waltz in and replace 50 years of Microsoft's enterprise dominance. Start with January 2025. Gates sat for an interview with the Times of London and unloaded on Musk in terms that were unusually blunt for someone who tends to speak in measured paragraphs. When the journalist compared Gates to Musk, Gates bristled, "I'm ultra different." Then came the line that made headlines everywhere. It's really insane that he can destabilize the political situations in countries. He called Musk's support for far-right parties in Germany and the UK insane ST, and questioned how someone, simultaneously running 5 companies, managing a car factory in China and Germany, and cutting $2 trillion in US government expenses, had time to obsess over British grooming scandals. I'm like, what? Gates said. He also offered a backhanded acknowledgement of Musk's intelligence. We can all overreach. If someone is super smart, and he is, they should think how they can help out. But this is populist stirring. That's the Gates playbook when it comes to Musk. Concede the intelligence, question the judgment, raise an eyebrow at the bandwidth, and do it all in a tone that makes clear he doesn't feel particularly threatened. Fast forward to April 2025, Microsoft's 50th anniversary celebration. Gates, Steve Ballmer, and Satya Nadella sat together and let Microsoft's own Copilot roast them on camera. When Copilot teased Gates about his intense expression, suggesting even AI might be intimidated by it, Gates replied with dry wit, "I hope so. I mean, that's all I've got left, as these AIs get so damn intelligent." A joke, yes, but also a man who has fully absorbed the fact that AI is rewriting the rules of his industry and is comfortable enough with that reality to laugh at it publicly. Then, in January 2026, Gates published his annual letter. In it, he wrote that of everything humans have ever created, AI would change society the most. More than the wheel, the internet, the car, electricity, he called AI the most important innovation he'd seen in his lifetime. He talked about AI already making software developers at least twice as efficient. He predicted disruptions, spreading from coding to warehouse work to phone support. He suggested the world use 2026 to prepare for what's coming. Nowhere in that letter did he name Musk or Macrohard. He didn't need to. Read those 3 moments together, the insane ST interview, the Copilot roast, the annual letter, and you get a composite picture of Bill Gates' reaction to Macrohard that is more revealing than any direct quote would be. He finds Musk's judgment chaotic and his overreach baffling. He takes AI disruption completely seriously. And he has said that AI is already transforming the very industry Macrohard is targeting. What Gates conspicuously hasn't done is panic. He hasn't blogged about the threat. He hasn't rushed to defend Microsoft's market position. He's done what Gates has almost always done when someone challenges Microsoft. Kept building, kept the powder dry, and waited to see whether the challenger can ship. That restraint has its own logic. Microsoft under Satya Nadella has invested billions into OpenAI, embedded AI across its entire product suite, committed $3.3 billion to a new AI hub in Wisconsin, and struck a $1.5 billion partnership with G42 in the Middle East. These aren't defensive gestures. They're the moves of a company that believes it is already leading the AI transition, not scrambling to catch up. When you're in that position, you don't validate a startup by acknowledging it. You just build faster. And there's another layer to Gates' silence that's worth naming. He has been here before. In the early 1990s, IBM dismissed Microsoft the same way Gates is now implicitly dismissing Macrohard. Incumbency, Gates knows better than most, is not a permanent condition. The vision is compelling. The gap between vision and execution is significant, and it's worth being specific about where. The multi-agent system Musk is describing, where AI builds software through iterative loops until the output is excellent, is technically interesting, but not yet demonstrated at anywhere near the scale he's claiming. Current AI systems are genuinely good at writing code in bounded contexts. They're considerably less reliable when building complex, interconnected software that must work across millions of hardware configurations, regulatory regimes, security standards, and user needs. That's not a criticism unique to XAI. It's a frontier the entire field is navigating. Then there's the enterprise trust problem, which is harder to solve than the technical one. Businesses choose Microsoft not only because its software is functional, but because Microsoft carries decades of accountability. When something breaks in the middle of a quarterly close, there's a contract, an SLA, a support team, and a legal entity to hold responsible. A fully AI-run software company immediately raises questions that no one in this space has answered yet. Who is liable when a critical system fails? Who negotiates the enterprise agreement? Who patches the security vulnerability at 2 a.m.? These aren't philosophical questions. They're procurement requirements, and they'll keep large enterprises on the sidelines until they're resolved. Finally, there's the question of Musk's own focus. By early 2026, SpaceX and XAI had formally merged into a combined entity, reportedly valued around $1.25 trillion. Musk is simultaneously running Tesla, managing Starlink, overseeing the SpaceX XAI integration, and running X Corp. Macrohard is one project inside a sprawling empire that has no shortage of competing priorities, whether it gets the sustained, focused leadership it needs to become a serious enterprise competitor, or whether it becomes one of several Musk ventures that generates headlines faster than it generates revenue, is a genuinely open question. Macrohard is real, the trademark is filed, the hiring has begun, the computing infrastructure is being built. The strategic argument that AI can simulate an entire software company is genuinely novel and not easily dismissed. But the distance between the announcement and a product that enterprises will pay for and trust with their core operations is enormous. Microsoft has a 50-year head start, an AI strategy of its own that's already generating revenue, and a customer base with switching costs so high that most won't move until they have a compelling reason to. What Macrohard does, even in this early stage, is force a question that the entire software industry is going to have to answer. If AI can write code, test software, manage systems, and simulate users, what is a software company for? That question matters regardless of whether Macrohard wins or loses. Gates built Microsoft by understanding, before almost anyone else, that software would define the computing age. Musk is now betting that AI will do to software companies what software once did to hardware companies, make the old model look slow, expensive, and unnecessary. Gates has seen disruption coming before. He's also missed it once or twice. What happens next will tell us a lot about which era of tech we're entering. Keep watching this space.